All right. So everyone is saying that Tesla's next Gigafactory is another done deal. It's another one of those situations where everyone reports on it and says, it's happening. Yes, it's going to be Mexico, Canada, Indonesia. Is it going to be Indonesia? Well, that's what Tesla already says. That's what all the media are saying right now. It's a done deal. Indonesia, signed, sealed, and delivered. And there's a whole bunch of reasons they say that it makes sense. I'm going to give you their reasons. I'm going to break them down. I'm going to tell you why they actually don't make sense. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm the Electric Viking. Great to see you. Welcome to all the new subscribers. Welcome back, everyone else. Thank you for tuning in. Great to see you. And by the way, if you're new to the channel, we've made, I think, about 2,500 or maybe closer to 3,000 videos by now over the past year and a half. Make sure you stay tuned to the channel because we normally have 5 to 7 videos per day about new battery technology, new EVs coming out, all that amazing, exciting news. And there's going to be some huge stuff that I've just made videos on coming up. Make sure you keep your eyes peeled. New battery technologies, especially the new solar technology. That is a game changer. In my opinion, that is the biggest game-changing technology of probably the last year. The solar video I just made about these new... Anyway, you need to see that video. I'll put a link in the description below. Tesla's Gigafactory. Indonesia. Everyone's saying it's happening. They've got a bunch of reasons. Okay, reason 1. There's a huge market for Tesla to go after in Southeast Asia. Now, people are saying, and I'm talking numerous people saying, the reasons are the market is massive. There's lots of people there, lots of cars being sold. Is this correct? Well, actually, let's have a look. India sells around 3 million cars per year on average. Sounds pretty good, right? I mean, that's a pretty big number. The truth is, a very small percentage of those are in Tesla's price category. The reason being because you have to pay around a 50% import tax on a Tesla vehicle. It's extremely expensive. Really, really difficult to sell large quantities of EV to India unless they're made in India. If they're made in India, you don't have to pay those taxes. Different story. But if they're not made in India, well, that market maximum, you're talking about maximum 50,000 vehicles a year. It's not going to get big ever. It's just that simple. Tesla know that. Everyone knows that. That's the reason why BYD has begun manufacturing cars in India, because it's the only way they can actually sell a lot of cars in India. That rules out India. As you can see, well, I mean, it doesn't rule it out. It's still some cars, but it's a very small number. What about Indonesia? There's a lot of people in Indonesia, right? There is. Massive country. A lot of people. Do people buy expensive cars? Well, median sales price for a car in Indonesia is about $15,000. Pretty low. Plus, they only sell 1 million cars a year. That's minuscule considering the global car market is nearly 80 million and there's 27 million cars sold per year in China. 1/27th of China's car sales would make sense. You can sell more cars in a single Chinese city than you could in the entire country of Indonesia. That doesn't add up, right? So now we've eliminated the 2 largest population bases in that area. Now you've got other countries such as Malaysia, which is definitely a country where more high-priced vehicles are sold. Thailand, people are trying to say, well, because there's a whole lot of Lamborghinis being sold in Thailand, therefore Tesla would crush it in Thailand. Well, let's break this down. Malaysia. Average sales per year in Malaysia, 450,000 vehicles. Thailand, average sales per year is around 750,000. So, as you can see, yeah, not a big car market to go after. I mean, the US car market is around 15 million cars per year. Europe, similar. Yeah. North America, if you want to include that with the US, you're looking at about 17 million cars per year. Of course, China, still 27 million. It just doesn't make sense. There's 1.2 million just from Malaysia and Thailand, but it doesn't really add up as to why you wouldn't just ship cars from China straight to Malaysia and Thailand. Now, you're thinking probably, oh, but what about Australia and New Zealand? They're big. I mean, Australia's a big place. New Zealand's another population source. Well, 25 million people in Australia. It's about 9 or 10 million in New Zealand. Car sales between those 2 countries per year, about 1.4 million. As you can see, if you add all these numbers up together, It's very small. You're looking at a population base, the entirety of Southeast Asia. You're looking at a car sales base in the entirety of Southeast Asia of less than 7 million. Of those, the majority of them, vast majority of them, outside of Australia and New Zealand are lower priced cars, especially India and Indonesia, where the two biggest population sources are. Now, the concept that Tesla would actually set up a gigafactory in Indonesia in order to sell cars to that small of a car market when it comes to actually, higher priced vehicles makes precisely 0 sense. It makes 0 factual sense. Just do the numbers yourself. If you don't believe me, if you're thinking, no, I agree, I disagree, make a spreadsheet, put them in your spreadsheet, look at all the numbers from those countries, do the research, you'll find out that the market is pretty small. When you build a gigafactory, you need to set up lots of things. You're not just setting up a gigafactory, right? You're setting up the supply chain. For example, China keep on going on about this, right? They keep on saying, what's so great about our gigafactory now in Shanghai is our supply chain is 95% local. They're basically within a 10-kilometer radius, 95% of their supply chain is based. What does that mean? Quicker availability of parts, right? Lower price availability of parts. It's like a semi-vertical integration. That's important. Now, you need to set all that up in Indonesia. How do you think that's going to go? Seriously, setting up an entirely new industry in Indonesia, that is a huge challenge. And I've just been in Indonesia this year. I've been there several times, parts of Indonesia, Jawa, etc. Just the roads themselves. You know what? I love the Indonesian people. They're great. But honestly, there's very little development there. Very little. That's for most of Indonesia. It's a huge challenge, a huge sort of gap to suggest that Tesla should build a gigafactory there. It's just not the country that would make sense to do so. Now, would they potentially build a factory to build, say, batteries? Maybe. Would they build a factory to build potentially electric motorbikes or electric bicycles? Yeah, electric tuk-tuks, those kinds of things. That would make a lot of sense. Or would they build a factory to build low-priced vehicles? Yes, but I don't believe Tesla's ever going to make truly low-priced vehicles like the ones that cost $15,000 average dollars per vehicle in those countries, in those Southeast Asian countries. I mean, we're talking best case scenario, $25,000 US dollars for the Tesla Model 2. That's a completely different price segment. So I don't see this happening. It's been reported everywhere. There's all kinds of reasoning. I mean, the Lamborghini one I've seen lots of times now, that just makes no sense just because maybe there's a couple of thousand people who bought Lamborghinis and Porsches. That means somehow magically there's a market for millions of Teslas to be sold in that country. There's zero logic behind any of that. So when you hear this kind of stuff, when you read the comments, I don't think it makes sense to actually believe these people with this kind of reasoning. Now, one of the other comments that I've seen is that this would be doing Tesla shareholders a favor, right? Tesla shareholders have been knocked around, lost a lot of value on their shares. If they were to sell today, they'd lose a lot of money. If they'd sell in 10 years, different story. But anyhow, they're saying that Tesla should do this to appease Tesla shareholders, to make them feel good, because then the share price will go up. As if magically everyone's going to agree that it's a good decision to build a gigafactory in Canada, Mexico, and Indonesia. So that's what people are saying. Some people are saying this. Tesla should announce this year that they're building a gigafactory in Mexico, Indonesia, and Canada in order to make the share price go up. We don't know if that's even going to happen, for starters. Second of all, is that a good reason to make a business decision of this magnitude, billions and billions of dollars, because it will appease shareholders and make the stock price go up? Yeah, I don't think Tesla works that way. Maybe you do. I don't know, but I don't think they do. And if they do, they shouldn't be. They shouldn't be working on the whims of, appeasing shareholders' feelings to make them feel better because the stock price has gone down. They should be making the most strategically chess-like, intelligent decisions that they possibly humanly can. So hopefully there's no gigafactory going on in Indonesia. Hopefully, if they're going to build a battery factory there and they've really thought about this and it makes strategic sense because of different minerals and etc., supply chain minerals, that's a different story. An actual car gigafactory, I think that's extremely unlikely. I'd be absolutely shocked if that were to happen. And frankly, when I found out the original source for these claims, guess who it was? Bloomberg. Yes. Do they ever get anything right? Tell me. What have they ever predicted that came true? I'll leave that with you, but let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and thank you for watching. Bye-bye.